as we move ahead in the bulletin. Now, viewers, China's People Liberation Army, or the PLA's Eastern Theater Command, has announced major military exercises around Taiwan, with live activities to be conducted on December 30th across 5 zones in waters and airspace. The spokesman for the PLA has said that the drills focus on subjects of sea-air combat readiness, patrol and blockade on key ports and areas. Let's in fact listen in to what the spokesman has stated.
12月29日开始，中国人民解放军东部战区组织陆军、海军、空军、火箭军等兵力，为台湾海峡、台岛北部、台岛西南、台岛东南、台岛以东组织正义使命2025演习。
Meanwhile, Taiwan has said that it has deployed appropriate force in response to China's drills around the island. Taiwan has also condemned China's use of military intimidation and has stated that the drills are a disregard for international norms. And I request Collins Chong-Yu-Keat, Foreign Affairs, Security and Strategy Analyst, once again to join us in this discussion. Collins, thank you very much for staying on with me. China, of course, will condemn these, Taiwan will condemn these Chinese exercises, and that's also the reaction that has coming in. Taiwan is actually calling it military intimidation. What do you think is the real objective?
Well, this is just as a continuation of the recent, responses by Beijing to send a very strong message that Taiwan remains the ultimate red line for China, and that any issues regarding Taiwan, are strictly an internal matter for China, and that, of course, also with regards to the statement by Takaichi at the deepening of ties between Taiwan and Japan, and of course also with the recent, arms sales to Taiwan by Washington, we have seen how, China is keeping the momentum of, this coercive gray zone pressure on Taiwan. They are not just routine exercises; they have been going on for the past couple of years now. So the message is always to, of course, to give this sustained pressure to wear down Taiwan's readiness. Of course, also to build this psychological pressure over time without triggering a full-scale war. And these drills also, can be seen as a message to both the U.S. and Japan that, China will always respond to any kind of notion of any deepening of Taiwan ties, and that the red line still remains in place, and that, and Taiwan's response has been measured, defensive, proportional, as they have always been, and to avoid any kind of sustained risk of miscalculation. So I will see that in the weeks and months to come, this will be a normative, an occasion where Beijing will build up sustained pressure over Taiwan, to of course also to give this pressure also to Takaichi's administration that China still is hot on the heels of the recent statement by Takaichi, and that Taiwan will always remain firmly on the importance of Beijing in the months to come.
And is Japan going to continue maintaining its restraint for now, in your opinion?
As I've stated, there's no reason for Takaichi to back down. Of course, it's too politically costly for her, and there's also no reason for Beijing to back down on the responses over Taiwan. So this is going to be a sustained, pressure for the months to come. And Takaichi has also stated that there's no division away from the conventional status quo, that Japan still respects the one China policy, but that of course also she is bold to point out the obvious fact that any this risk to Taiwan will also implicate Japan directly in terms of Japan's survival and security. So this is an obvious fact, and Takaichi has been brave enough to change the the years-old conventional normative status quo on the part of Japan. So there's no hint of any notion for Takaichi to back down for this point of time, and I foresee that this is going to also build up this kind of and Takaichi has this strong sustained support from the domestic audience in Japan. So there's no reason for her to back down, and that she'll continue to ride on this wave of this new whole brave foreign policy of Japan to secure Japan's interests in the first place.
All right, sure. Thanks very much, Collins, for joining me in this discussion. And with that, we're now going to proceed to some news from Mexico. Mexican authorities